Here is go back.
How's it going, everybody? This is X-Wing Sports here for the Sunday Funday show with my co-host, John Lumpkin here. How's it going, John Lumpkin?
Man, I'm just happy football is back. I've been missing it. On Saturdays, it's been kind of boring, so, I'm glad to have football back.
I'm super excited for some college football, guys. And this week one was amazing, to say the least. It was a lot of close games and a lot of exciting games, I would say. What do you think?
Man, it was a lot of stuff that surprised me, then a lot of stuff I was like, wait, what's going on here? I'm gonna go watch it while it's playing out.
So John had something to tell me. He had like a little story to tell me, and this is your opportunity to tell me that story.
Okay. So I've known you for about, if you want to be technical, like I've been talking like as friends-wise since, I've known you since I first started, so back in 2020. The only time I talked to you before then is when I did repair. And you was walking outside. We just got off, and I was like, "Hey, Miles, you got some jumper cables?" And you was like, "No," and just kept walking like I was a nobody. That was my first real interaction with you.
You asked me if I had jumper cables, and I said no.
Cause I was driving a Toyota Highlander, and I left the lights on because I was running late that morning.
Oh.
And it was completely dead. Everybody else I knew already left, so I was like, "Oh, there's Miles." He says, "No," and just kept walking like I was nobody.
Yeah, I have no recollection of that. I don't even remember that. So I got this Georgia buddy from work. He sent me this message. He says, bro, I just watched y'all's highlights and your players were acting like y'all played Ohio State. You played Utah State. This isn't good from a hype standpoint. It means that Nick Saban is telling them boys you don't have to work to be your best. I don't think he cares anymore. To be honest with you, I don't think Bama is the best team in the country. And I don't know who is. But as long as they keep acting like they're unstoppable, they'll get stopped. Now, what a delusional Georgia fan this guy is, okay? I'm going to play a clip right here to the side, and you can see Bryce Young's excited, but then he calms down because he knows he's got to speak to Saban, and Saban's going to be on his ass about something, about throwing a ball or whatever. Nick Saban is going to be on our players' ass, okay? And it's okay if the players get a little excited every now and then. So that right there is just, I don't know. Delusional, but moving on.
All right.
So teams that impressed us and that look good while winning is of course Georgia. Okay, Georgia. Okay. I mean, what do you think about Georgia? How they performed?
I was talking the other day about I was like, I don't think Georgia's there where they reload. They just kind of have to rebuild every year, and there's certain parts where I was right and there's certain parts I was wrong. I don't know if you noticed where their tight ends, man, they're just reloading tight end after tight end. And then same thing with running backs. And then, but quarterbacks, they have to rebuild with them. Because, let's be honest, that Bennett wasn't very good. But then you look at him yesterday, fucking phenomenal, man. He's just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's going to win the Heisman, no doubt.
I don't know about that one, but I don't know about that one.
I was just kidding. Hopefully they beat Florida, which Georgia, we're not going to go a lot deep into Georgia, but they won 49-3, I think, over a terrible Oregon team. But maybe Oregon's really good. Maybe just Georgia's that good. We don't really know. It's early in the season, but Georgia completely mollywopped Oregon yesterday, and it wasn't even close. It was over in the first quarter, probably the first 5 minutes of the game, to be honest. I mean, Blow Dix, he just sucked ass, and I don't even. He's just terrible. He threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter. Just terrible play by Blow Dix. Yeah, terrible. What do you think about him?
He's making the same mistakes he did as a freshman. As a freshman, you understand it happens, but then you're not progressing to getting better. Then so you're not getting better while everybody else is getting better. You're just staying right here. Then that's why he might have a good season at Oregon, but I don't see him making the playoffs. Because let's say for some reason they make the playoffs, okay, then you got Georgia again, or you got Alabama, you got some big team that's just gonna do the same thing to you over again.
Exactly.
But
yeah,
like I said, like
yeah,
go ahead,
Florida. I mean, no, you go ahead.
and like saying like Georgia like stepped in it's phenomenal. Like 25 of 31, 80.7%, 368 yards. But the only thing I could see Georgia improving on is the penalties. They had 7 penalties for 75 yards.
That's true.
But
Wow,
that's
I didn't
that's
even
the
know
only
that.
thing.
Wait, Georgia had.
Like,
Wait, Georgia did.
yeah,
Wow,
7 penalties for 75
they need to
yards.
clean that up. Florida is another team that impressed me with the win over Utah. That was, what really surprised me is that Florida, they really controlled the line of scrimmage, or not controlled it, but they I was thinking Utah was this big, great offensive line, run it down your throat kind of team, but like, what I don't even got the stats pulled up, but like, how many rushing yards did Utah get in that game?
Okay, so Utah had 446 yards total, 230 of them just rushing, and like 6.3 yards a play. Like, it was just crazy.
Yeah, Utah, they were able to run the ball. Yeah, they were able to run the ball on Florida, but the thing that surprised me was Florida was able to run the ball pretty good at will on Utah. So Utah then, has the chance to win the game late in the game, and they just throw a bonehead interception in the end zone, and pretty much they could have tied the game with a field goal easily, but they wanted to go for the touchdown, and they slipped up and threw an interception, a costly interception that pretty much put the game away for Florida.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes on these games, but for me, like you were saying, yes, they would like the biggest thing with Oregon and Florida is a lot of missed tackles. Like, that was the biggest thing. They would have a lot of missed tackles. Like, if you seen Oregon would stop Georgia behind the line, but then Georgia would get free. Same thing with Utah and Florida State, man. They were just missed tackles left and right.
Yeah.
And most of, believe it or not, what I was looking at is most of the quarterbacks, and they were just killing them with the arms and legs. So, like, I was going to say, Anthony Richardson, he was a leading rusher for Florida. He had 106 yards on 11 carries. And then
he had a really good game.
Same thing
he played really good.
Cameron Rising, 7 carries, 91 yards. But
two running quarterbacks faced off yesterday, and the better team, Florida, came out with a win. Go SEC, by the way.
Absolutely.
So moving on, we'll go on to Arkansas.
I got one more thing for you.
Okay, go ahead.
What about the shoe catch in the Utah Florida game?
I saw that. Yeah, he caught it with his feet, and Pitt in West Virginia got those Pitt in West Virginia, they don't even have wide receivers that catch with their hands. And you got Utah players, they can catch them with their feet. Like come on, get real, man. Like Pitt, I'll go ahead and say Pitt and West Virginia, they didn't impress me at all. They're both terrible teams. Tennessee's going to beat Pitt by 30 points. I guarantee it. So whatever the line is on that game, go ahead and mark it down as a win for Tennessee, and that's going to be a blowout. It's next week. I think it's next week too. Okay, so our next up we got Arkansas. Arkansas, I didn't really get to watch the game that much, so I don't really know a whole lot about Arkansas, about the game, but I might watch it later. Arkansas pulled away from Cincinnati, and I think they did really good. I mean, they did what I expected. They covered for me on my picks. We'll talk about my picks later. I didn't do too well on my picks, but Arkansas definitely did cover for me. So I'm pretty impressed by Arkansas. They ran the ball down Cincy's throat, and they passed the ball for a good chunk of change. So I'm pretty impressed by Cincy. What do you think? Or not Cincy, Arkansas. What do you think?
Arkansas was actually pretty balanced, man. Like, their rushing yards, they only had one more rushing yard than they had passing yards. Yards play was 6.3. But, like, if you look at their stats, man, Arkansas and Cincinnati were right there with each other. Cincinnati had 24 first downs. Arkansas had 23. They both went 8 of 16, so 50% on third down. Total plays were out there, 74 and 71. Punts were 4 and 6. But the time of possession was exactly like I said in the game, and the Henley's killing them. Cincinnati had 10 for 65 yards. Arkansas had 7 for 63 yards. I think that's the biggest thing I see with a lot of teams right now. It's penalties, but that just comes with discipline later on.
Yeah,
in life.
man, you wrote down all the penalties, man. You wrote down all your penalties, man. You're on top of your game. So next up, we got my Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide. We're not gonna talk a whole lot about the Crimson Tide. They did what they needed to do, against an inferior team. But I do think that their celebrations and stuff was warranted. This is the first game of the season, so you gotta bring the crane kick and all that. I don't even think they did the crane kick, but it's okay. It's Utah State, but I think they did really good. I think they showed what our defense looked great. So shut them out. I don't even think we had a shutout last year. Did we have a shutout last year?
Let me check real quick.
But I think we might have had a shutout versus Mississippi State. Maybe that was the year before. But anyways, Alabama did good, and I'm proud of our team. So moving on to the teams that disappointed, we'll go into our next segment.
They were not a shutout.
Oh, Alabama did not have a shutout last year.
No, the closest one was New Mexico State. But that's beside it. Or Cincinnati.
We didn't even have a shutout last year, so this is a big improvement from last year, I think. So our next segment is teams disappointed. Of course, you have Pitt and West Virginia. They were terrible, both terrible teams. They disappointed me. Who else disappointed me? Oregon. Huge disappointment for Oregon. They look like total crap out there. What is it? North Carolina. They barely beat App State. Whatever. I think they let App State score 61 points on them. That was terrible.
And almost won it too.
Yeah, Boston College disappointed me. Boston College didn't cover. I thought they were better than that. Their quarterback Jakovic, whatever, he looks like awful. He's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, and he didn't look like crap out there. I think he had like 2 or 3 interceptions in that game, and they were terrible interceptions. So I watched a little bit of the Boston College game. So North Carolina, and I'm trying to think of another team that didn't look. Ohio State, yeah. Ohio State and Notre Dame, but Notre Dame's offense is terrible. I don't know if it's a product of Ohio State's offense being bad. I don't think that. I don't think it's Ohio State's defense being good. Or because Ohio State's defense was terrible last year, but maybe they're really good this year. I don't know. Or Notre Dame's offense is just really that bad. But yeah, I watched the game, and it was like 10-7 for like the whole game, and then I think the third or fourth quarter I turned back and Ohio State was up 14-10, and it stayed like that for a long time, and then I think Ohio State won 21-10. So not a really good performance by Ohio State on offense. So they kind of disappointed me on that aspect of the game. But what do you think, John?
It's Notre Dame. Let's be honest. It's Notre Dame, man. They started off fast. First play was 54-yard pass, but then nothing. They couldn't finish, and they looked good for that first drive. And after that, it's just good old Notre Dame. But then Ohio State, they start rolling in the first quarter, but then they would do good, but then they had bad plays. But let's talk about the running back, though, Henderson. He looked amazing. He reminded me of like a good old normal round and pound. Nothing too big, but then great run. So
yeah. So those are the teams that disappointed me. You got anything else to add, John?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One team that absolutely disappointed, Auburn. Let's talk.
Auburn.
About that.
Oh yeah.
2 interceptions. So basically a cupcake game. Come on, man. 2 interceptions. You only got 112 yards. 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. He reminds me of Jeremy Johnson.
Wow.
It's just horrible, man. Like
Mm.
he has a lot of hype, and then he's horrible.
I don't think TJ Finley is. I think he's worse than Bo Nix, to be honest. So.
Oh, absolutely. He's more of a runner, but like, is that really what you want all the time? Is just a runner? Because Jalen, just like Jalen, I love Jalen Hurts, but he couldn't win us the ball just running it, so we had to go with a passer. He's not the guy. But didn't Auburn have that guy that transferred from Texas A&M?
Are you talking about Calzone?
Yes, like where's he at?
He's at Auburn. He just didn't win. He just didn't win the job.
Everybody, they got hyped up, and like you don't even see him anywhere.
Yeah, or Calzone sucks. I mean, he sucked at Texas A&M. The only game he did good was the Alabama game. He played the game of his life, and that's what always happens. It seems like to Alabama when Alabama loses, it's always because some quarterback plays the game of their life, and they'll never play like that again. It's only against Alabama. That's all. That's how it always is. What's up, guys? About to add John Lumpkin in here. Go unmute him. You there, John Lumpkin?
What's up?
Okay, about to add him back in here. How's it going, John? Back in the live show here. I don't know if y'all could tell, but that was kind of pre-recorded. If John can get his webcam working, maybe we can get this show started here.
I'm back.
Yeah. Ohio State fans did. They were, I mean, I haven't heard them say anything about them scoring 50 points on Notre Dame, but I've heard a lot of people say that Notre Dame or Ohio State was going to blow Notre Dame out, which that didn't happen. Definitely didn't happen.
I don't really think Notre Dame, Ohio State. I don't think they're a top team really.
I don't either. I think they're far from it.
I think one of the best features they had last night was that running back. That's about it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna post the link here, and if anybody wants to call into the show, I will take calls, and we can answer whatever questions you have. I'm gonna post it in I'm gonna post it in the description, and I'm gonna post it in the chat. Hold on. So if anyone wants to join the show, you can go ahead and join. What's up, Paxton? Yeah, I was gonna do the picks for next week, but we can't do the picks because LSU hasn't played yet, and we have to wait on that game, which I actually have LSU covering that. But I went 2-5 on my picks, which is terrible for the Pigskin Pete competition. If you haven't subscribed to Pigskin Pete, please subscribe to Pigskin Pete. That's a big shout out to Pigskin Pete. He has a pick'em, which really it's Nate the Great's pick'em. Which subscribe to Nate the Great too, also, and in addition to that as well. That was an Uncle Lou reference, but yeah. Actually, I don't really have the link, but I can probably post the link. Actually, you can't join anyways because it's already started. The pick'em's already started. But I was saying y'all could join, but it's probably too late.
You can try to join. You're not gonna join, but you can try.
So how'd you do in the pick'ems?
I think I'm 2-4. I still got LSU and Florida State. Then I got Clemson and Georgia Tech to play tonight. And
Paxton went 3-5. That's better than me, Paxton.
Better than me so far.
I had North Carolina covering. I had Boston College. I had Houston covering. They didn't cover. I completely shit the bed. Literally.
What threw me was that Oregon game.
I shit my bed last night, literally. I'm just kidding.
You just wake up, whoa, man, what is this?
It's because of the picks. It's because of my picks, man. Like, they were terrible. Picking against the spread, like I won all my picks. Like, North Carolina won, Houston won. Okay, except for the Oregon one. I picked Oregon to cover, but like all the picks that I picked, if I were to pick them, I would have won. But because they were the spread, I lost. So, what can you do?
Yeah, if it was just like picking who we think was gonna win, I think I would have got one wrong. That's it. That would have been the Georgia Oregon game because.
Oh yeah, Roll Tide, Ballard. By the way, I didn't even see you there.
Yeah, I had too much confidence in Bo Nix, but never do it again.
Yeah, man. If you want to join the show, click the StreamYard link. We'll take some calls, but it's gonna be a great game tonight. The LSU and Florida State game. I'm gonna be definitely watching that game. All my attention is gonna be that game because really it sucked because the Oregon Georgia game wasn't really that game wasn't good, but like the Ohio State and the Arkansas game, those were on at the same time as the Alabama game. So I was watching the Alabama game like intently, even though it was a blowout. I was still watching it, and so I had to keep flipping back and forth to the good games, which were the Arkansas and the Ohio State game, which I really didn't get the whole watch all like, intently like I'm going to be watching the LSU and Florida State game tonight. So I'm very excited for it. What about you, John? You excited?
I am. A lot of games I thought were going to be good. Like you said, the Georgia and Oregon game, I thought it was going to be a close game, but that was a blowout. And then a lot of the other games that were close were on at one time. So I had the Alabama game on my TV, and then I had like 4 or 5 other games on my MacBook and laptop. So I was trying to all pay attention at one time.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So, you got anything else? Part of your notes that you wanted to add that you didn't get to in the show? Houston UTS game, great game. I didn't even see that game, Paxton.
I didn't either.
But I definitely picked Houston to cover like an idiot. every time I
Logan,
you said what?
I was trying to think of something, but I don't really got anything.
Well, shit. We'll have to end the show early, I guess. Since we don't got no callers or nothing. Our last show was an hour long, but I don't know. We don't really. We had I think I had 10 viewers last time.
Yeah.
And now it's dramatically, which I feel like we did a better show this time around than last time.
It's more organized.
Yeah, it's more organized. And Brock, you want to cam up so I can, we got to do the protocol. I'm not getting, porn blasted on the stream. Which or I mean, it's not like, no one's going to see you anyways. So we can just hear you. But Brock, if you want to cam up just to show, but I mean, you want to cam up, Brock? No, he left. He left.
Nah, I ain't coming up for you, boy.
He left. See, I'm gonna get trolled on here, man. I know it, but I'm a veteran now. I've done this. I've done the stream a few times, so I know there's a protocol. You gotta have the protocol, or your whole stream's gonna get taken down. And I really don't want to take this stream down because I feel like we did a good job on today's show. But
I just want to like my favorite thing is I just remember the first time I ever did like a stream with you. I was at your house doing the draft, and the guy kept trying to set his hair on fire. Forever my favorite. Like, oh, I'm real. Let me show you. He set his hair on fire.
Yep.
I wish it was real, so we can just put him on here, just like a first, a quick second. I'll set mine on fire.
Yeah, that's great. Utah playoff champs are done. Yeah. Utah, they're not. I
I
don't
was
think
looking at their schedule actually. The only person they play left, like actual good person, is they play USC and Oregon, but I'm not now Oregon ain't. That's about it. It's just USC. The rest of the games are nobody's.
I'm gonna send a message to a group chat if anybody wants to join, or just the last hurrah if anybody wants to join the show. I'm gonna send a group message and see if anybody joins. So maybe they join the show. But we could talk about the LSU Florida State game. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to be a blowout, or do you think it's going to be a pretty close game?
I think it's gonna be a good, a close game, but I don't think it's. I think it's gonna be LSU struggling, but then they're gonna pull away. Florida State hasn't been good. Let's be honest, since Jimbo Fisher left. Since he left, everything's went down.
I just think their offensive line isn't going to hold up against LSU's front. But that's just my feeling about the game. That's why I picked LSU to cover. But it's just the offensive the line, or the people up front, the line of scrimmage it's just a mismatch in my opinion. And yeah, Hoghead 10 to 14 points. Yeah. I'd say that, yeah. That sounds about right, for real.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. LSU's winning by 21 points. 24 points.
I don't know about that.
Come on.
That's a little extreme.
Come on, LSU, don't let me down. It's SEC. Come on.
That's a little extreme. That's a little bit too much. But I think I'm going to end the stream here. We don't got any callers or nothing, so
it's just gonna get better from here. Just let you know that.
I hope so. I mean, I feel like we did a pretty good show today. And maybe it's the time slot. Maybe we need to move this to not Saturday. Maybe we need to move it. Maybe we need to move it to another day or another time. I don't know, but thank you guys for watching. Thanks you guys for watching the. Or we got four viewers now. We may not want to end it. I don't know. The viewer, if you want to be a caller on the show, just click the StreamYard link. And if there ain't no callers in about 5 more minutes, I'm gonna end it. But I need somebody on here to answer some questions or ask some questions for us. But probably gonna end it soon. Short, if John doesn't have anything to say, because John needs to carry the show. John, carry the show.
I need to carry. Okay,
carry the
how
show.
Can I carry it? Listen. I can't carry it if I have a name like just John. Your shit's
John
like
Lumpkin.
Well,
you gotta change your name or something. Like think of a good. My name was stupid. Okay, C Dog made a video talking about how crappy my name was. Which, think about it. I mean, wing, like you eat wings when you watch football, right? So it has to do with football. So wings, and then X just sounds cool. So X wings.
Go get some wings.
Yeah,
I love wings.
Go get some wings. We're gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys for watching, and hope we did a good show. We'll be here next Sunday, hopefully around the same time.